Societies wander together like hopeful drops of a virus. Citizen testaments bent on offering me a nation of breadwinners to hold me back. Like it's a Brinks, I wrinkle the concrete sometimes like flesh. My Martin Luther King permanence, turning away from a podium into the reeds like God is the dangerous twin. At Black August to the mountaintop balcony on my bedroom floor, you know, they steal you from the earth itself and suspend you in your broken neck from their foolish euphoria, from the loyalty oath of their grave superstitions, loyalty oath of their agrarian reform. I return to my mother completely disrespected for peeling the heat off of purgatory. They kill poets like me. Walk me away from my poems, never to be heard from again. In this final industrial complex, or bloodlines picked over, picked through, sport and spiritual death of your devil at least half made. Police become a pretty word. I'm reading a lynch mob shoestrings like they were tea leaves, teaching you how to write about cities. It's the 25th century in the mirror, people. Tyranny against your chump change. You're a chump to be mocked, even with a gun in your car. A cubit of needlework spelled tune for the proletariat, the relapse ministry. Talented people curled up in a fetal position next to a diamond dying, just another service day in the theatrics of tea house fascism. In a bouquet of surveillance cameras, in the poverty of God, new blue eyes, corpses of water, newly potted presidency, a one big shiny coin if you ask an animated capitalism and other non-literal voids, killing his white freedom, the deification of hyphens, medicine bread and picture shows, great protesters in LA, guests of art, ink, drop kicking roses in the graveyard, DC mink like a stone torn in half, the pen advances despite CIA guideposts, despite non-African past and futures, a metaphorical but not surreal day in the horn-ridden life. Horn player improvising king like a radio prize fight featuring Shango himself. A real hand sweeps the land of racism. May I return to the ground? May I make progress with the gun? My mother, Emmanuel, they put on music that evening. A swinging type body language for you to drink with fermented $5 bills for your body language. Some applause, my past stomach lining. Neither a good thing nor a bad thing, like being psychic on the way to a lethal injection. It'll sit you down with Lady Day. Lady Day leading youth who surrendered their souls to Africa too soon. Polity thought floating in a cup of water, she saved me. Accessing my stomach, accessing the love of the American lynched. Coat sleeves wooden and avalanche into the wrist. Our mother Emmanuel avalanching to the sharp keys. Pain, the deal you make with pain. The piano makes sense for them. Laying hands on the world gradually. Addressing the bending necks on the streets of the north. Travelers sailing in pain, repeating pain in the north. 10 trigger fingers on that piano if harmony would have me. Putting 100 fights on every direction offered her. Lady Day leaning on trees again, recruiting the countryside itself, saying, lay your plan out on this lightning, make your poems the corner pocket of men. I greeted the blues itself. America may clean my dead body, but will never include me. There goes the poet, killing without killing. Never mind this painting of your language. May I be a meaningful lynching. A crow's passing. Good and dead by the afternoon.
Hi, welcome to Brown Girl Book Lover. I'm Leslie Ann Murray. Today we're here with Tongo Eisen-Martin, the poet laureate of his native San Francisco, California. He is the author of Somebody's Dead Already, which was nominated for a California Book Award, and Heaven is All Goodbyes. That's a beautiful title, which received the California Book Award and an American Book Award. A poet, movement worker, and educator. Blood on the Fog is his latest poetry collection. Tongo, welcome to Brown Girl Book Lover.
Thank you very much. It's good to be with you.
Tell us about the meaning behind Blood on the Fog and how you came to write this collection.
The biography of Blood on the Fog almost is like a craft biography, in that it was a collection that kind of that started not necessarily with like a thesis or a master plan, but rather just a style of writing, one in which I tried to employ almost like meditation techniques while writing. When I finished Heaven is All Goodbyes, between Heaven is All Goodbyes and Someone's Dead Already, it felt like a complete protein, and so like I was really trying to figure out what was the next planet to play on. And I was trying to resolve, you know, I was trying to find this kind of new species, you know, approaching it like, you know, almost like a chemist might, or a chef, and really just worried about the ingredients of craft, and like, okay.
Your poems remind me that poetry is a living art, and we are always returning to the poem to learn something new or to see something new. Do you experience the same thing when you read poetry, when you write your poetry?
There's something just wonderful about experiencing a mind that I cannot predict.
I like that. Yes.
It's exciting, you know. Yes. It's like, what are they gonna do next? I mean, it's almost, it's just as you know, just as mind-boggling as, you know, any other, you know, kind of just as mind-boggling as a Simone Biles, you know what I mean, quadruple backflip. You know, to watch, you know, to watch the you know, to watch Audre Lorde's mind dance on the page, to watch June Jordan, you know, just incredibly, you know, just incredibly powerful, powerful and decisive imaginations. It's you know, it charges me up.
Yeah, that makes me think about this question of like, where do you get your imagery from? Because it's so unique, and there's so many things I'm like, whoa, okay, I never thought about that. I love that juxtaposition. And where is your imagery coming from?
I think it comes from it comes from depth. It comes from my powers of definition. That I'm really using these images to just using these images to define reality.
So many times when we learn poetry in school, we're taught to lay the poem on the table and really extrapolate its limbs, its meaning, its identity. And that's how we figure out a poem. But your poem have an ephemeral nature, meaning everything we think we've figured out, the second time we read it again, it's not that. Which I like about your poem. And like that one poem I was just telling you about, I was like, oh, I know what this is. And I was like, wait a minute, on my second read. And if you can answer this, how do you do that?
Probably by accident. I'm just trying to see everything that's present. Very and maybe often unsuccessfully, but for a kind of like a liberatory objective, right? Because often, like, our consciousness, you know, our consciousness suffers and atrophies, and we a part of our dehumanization is the engagement of reality on these very kind of like closed off terms, right? So like back to so actually God and the devil. The point of God and the devil is to give you, you know what I mean, to transmit behavioral norms or whatever, you know. And you can get lost in that, and people can maintain power over you when you just engage it in the ways that hegemony presents, right? But, you know, almost, you know, even, you know, you if you look at kind of just like folk tales appropriating God and the devil, and what and how much more dynamic it makes it can make your mind. I mean, therein lies the compass. That, you know, take all of the, you know, take all of these mythologies and material realities that are dumped on you, that are thrown at you, or that literally arrest you, shoot you, kill you, incarcerate you, coerce you, you know, sit you in a box for 8 hours, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Take all of those, take all of those realities, and in the search for you know, just making music within making music out of analysis, you can actually take everything that's dumped on you, and in those kind of conversions, an invincibility is born, and a humanization, a transcendent humanization is born. You know, that's the potential, or those are the possibilities. And luckily, it don't actually take that much. like luckily, it's just like, just look at this situation for 2 seconds longer. There's an interesting slogan, spiritual slogan, that you only have to be 2 seconds braver than you were yesterday.
Oh, I love that.
Right on. You know, I think that's a you know, for a coward like myself, that's a doable bravery, man. You know what I mean? Like, at the very least, I can hang with this image for a little bit longer, you know, and see what kind of you know, what kind of invincibility of consciousness I can invoke. You know?
You make me think about that everything we experience in life is waiting to be a poem.
Yeah.
You just have to wait like 3 seconds. You have to.
Literally. Yeah, very much.
Wow. Well, that's it. Wait. Wow. I just want to say, like, whoa. You need to be, I'm sure you are. I just need to be at a lecture where you are, because this was so beautiful. And you talk in poetry almost, right? So I really enjoyed this, just like listening to how you're thinking and being able to, you know, enter your mind just temporarily. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that.